Hello, spin enthusiasts. I have something very interesting to show you today, and it just arrived. I'm gonna unbox it and show you what this is, because this is very, like I said, it's very interesting. It's called the Quiet Spin Anchor. It is by SouthEnd Precision 3D, and I'll go ahead and give you that card real quick so you can see if you want to, if you end up liking this and you want to try it out yourself. It's basically this cool little thing. Looks like this. It's 3D printed, shaped like that. Essentially got a little like hex bolt on the end, and then it's a little tube, and it should fit into your pole. The idea being to stop the clanking. So I went and grabbed a particularly clanky pole. Of course, it's not going to clank now that I actually say that. And I'm going to go ahead and untape it, and let's try this thing out. So I want to start with showing you one of the effects of having a bolt knot secured in the end of your pole. So you can kind of see here, there's this line around it, and it's actually bumped out. If I run my finger on it, I can feel the bump. You can kind of hear it. And that is where the bolt hits against the inside of the pole as you're tossing and catching. Now, can you tape these in? Totally. And I teach taping them in, but I mean, when you have students who are taping your poles and they're learning how to do it, and they are teenagers and they don't always listen to instructions properly, sometimes you wind up with a pole like this, where this was not actually taped in. It was taped in to some pole at some point in time because there's a little bit of tape on the top, but just now I'm looking and there's no tape anywhere on this bolt. So you can tape this in and it will hold until the tape breaks, okay? So now let's try this. And I'm gonna actually use the bolts that were sent with it, just to make sure I'm absolutely using the product properly and using the correct bolt for the product. So I'm gonna take this piece and I'm going to stick it inside the pole. Ooh, it's a very tight fit. It's a little bit flexible though, so if I kind of wiggle it and squeeze it just a bit, got it in. Now, this should screw in, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. We are not aliens. Okay, getting all the way to the end here. Is the square portion going to go in? Yes, it does. Okay. Now, I don't think I could have gotten the bolt into it. Like, I wouldn't recommend screwing the bolt in first, because I did need to flex it a little bit in order to get it to go on. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and take the tip, put the rubber tip back on, and I'm gonna retape this with some red tape just because it's what I have handy, and then we'll see how this goes. Are you team cut your tape or rip your tape? If I can cut my tape, I always will. If I don't have scissors handy, I will rip it. All right, now, so I know this is not a hardcore usage at the moment, just putting something in for the first time. But I would say, so far it's pretty solid. Okay. Gotta do the other end. Now this one actually was taped in. You can see the tape broke off. It's really, really helpful to tape and retape your poles every single season. And yeah, these haven't been taped in a hot minute. Okay, so this time I'm gonna attempt screwing the bolt in first because I feel like I can screw it in a little tighter if I do that. I'm afraid though it's not gonna actually go in if I screw it in all the way. Yeah, it definitely needs to have the bolt out of it before you screw it in, before you push it into the pole. So don't screw your bolt in first. The other thing I wanted to mention is I have seen some devices like this before, and you can get them in catalogs or whatever, but I've seen them before and I've never been impressed with them because they're just essentially like a little washer that goes around the very end of your bolt, and they didn't actually hold this big tall amount. I'm just gonna slap this on here and not tape it for a minute because supposedly it should come out. So I've got my weight, my flag is weighted. Obviously you would want to do your entire flag set with these, but see, my ceiling is not very high in here, so we're just gonna, yeah, and they do a really good job of just stopping the sound, the bolt from clanking against the pole on the inside. So I love that because that is a very annoying sound to me. And yeah, let me see, we're gonna try one more thing before we're finished here. I am gonna pull this off, and I wanna see how hard they are to get out. I just pulled it out that far just by pulling the tip off. So let's go ahead and, actually I'm gonna push it back in and then try to get it out from there because really that's what I'm gonna be doing. So, okay, let's start with screwing the bolt out first because that's actually really hard to pull out. Now, ideally, you would want to leave these in the pole, but you never know what happens. You might need to pull them out for some reason or other. Okay, so it pulled out with the rubber crutch tip when I pulled it off, but it's not wanting to pull out just by my fingers themselves. Oh, I'm also not very strong, so this might not be a good example of this. But yeah, in case, you know, if something breaks, not that I foresee these breaking because they are one piece, but you never know what's gonna happen when you start using them throughout the season, but you might need to replace them. Okay, so I'm gonna wiggle that out, get to the rubber part, and there we have it. I just pulled it all out. So this is a neat little thing. Like I said, I've seen devices that were similar before, but not quite engineered to this degree. So definitely something cool to try out. I would recommend trying this out. And one more time, it's called the Quiet Spin Anchor. And if you want some contact information, it's right here. This is where you get them. I am not receiving any sort of compensation for this aside from just the devices they sent me. And yeah, I'll put the link in the description. So keep spinning.